Like I said this morning, brothers and sisters, I was thinking about the sermon, and it just came to me about how, we as the people, we wait, or we're waiting, it seems like eternity, for something, grand to happen, something major in our lives, something so big, and, you go to school, you wait 12 years before you can actually even get your college, your diploma, your high school diploma. Or when you go, then after that, you have to go to college just to get a degree, whatever field you're in, maybe 4 years or even longer, 7 years, if it's medical. It's something in your life that is like a long time you're waiting for. That these things pay off in the end, as we see when you wait for them. We know that they are, if you study for them, if you work hard for them, whatever it is that you do, we see that it pays off in the end. So hopefully, like I said, we get something out of this message that, we get not tired of waiting, because sometimes it's so easy to give up. When we have so much around us that's telling us, like, why are you, giving up? Why are you even, striving for it? What are you doing? Why are you going to church? Or why are you even reading your Bible every day? Or why do you, do what you do? What is your religion about? What do you think you're doing? Hopefully, like I said, this, comes to us as a necessity right now, because it is. It's something that we need to strive for. Something that we need to have in our lives is some kind of wait, something that we're waiting on, because it's something that's really big, and it's very important that we wait for this, because so many Christians give up nowadays. They think, what? It's way too long. I can't do it. It's too much for me to handle. This law of God. How can I live this life? For many of us, all it takes is something minute to send us back to that old life. And that's why I'm hoping, that after this message today, that we can have some wait for that. So let's find it. We're going to find our message in Exodus, and it's going to be in chapter 32. But first, we're going to read the end of chapter 31, the last verse, and it reads, "And when he had made an end of speaking with him on Mount Sinai, he gave Moses 2 tablets of the testimony, tablets of stone, written with the finger of God." This tells us, brothers and sisters, that these were not just created by Moses. These weren't just anything that came out of nowhere. These weren't just rocks randomly picked. These were actual stone tablets that God made with His own fingers, with the finger of God. It says, this is the actual work of God. And it says at the beginning, and when He had made an end of speaking. That means this was at the beginning. It was supposed to be the end of Him speaking to Moses at the time. This is supposed to be the end of the conversation, when He gave him the law, which was the past 12 chapters before that. This is the past 12 chapters. He just gave him the law. It took that long for him to actually receive the law from God. So what do you think the people were doing? They were in desperate need of something. They were waiting. They were in this wait, in this time of need. They were thinking this whole time, man, He's taking forever. Let us read on to what it says in chapter 32, the first verse. It says, "Now when the people saw that Moses delayed coming down from the mountain." See, and this right here was where we see the delay of where Moses, he had to take, quite a while to receive the law of God. It was, like I said, for 12 chapters. For us, we read it so fast, but in the time, God could be giving him in His own time. We don't know how long it could have been. It doesn't say. But, I'm sure it was quite a while for the people to be in such a need for them to delay like this. And it says, the people, and it also reads on, it says, "The people gathered together to Aaron," the other servant of God. He was the one that was supposed to be in control of the situation. "And said to him, Come, make us gods that shall go before us." These people wanted something, they could see, something that they could hold on to, something that they could have, something that they could, think that was real. "And as for this man, this Moses," it says, "for as this Moses," they're even putting him on, this Moses, who's this guy? The man who brought us out of the land of Egypt. They completely, in this sense right here, completely are not even looking at what happened here. They're looking at the man who did it, who was leading them. They were looking at the man, who was in the situation, who was in control. They were looking at the man, God behind the man. They were looking at the man himself. We do not know what has become of him, it says, the last part. They completely, in their own brain, they wanted to know what was going on. What was taking him so long? What's going on? Where is he at? We're tired of waiting. Make us something. We want it now. And this is a lot of times in our own lives. We have the same kind of need, for something. Materialistic, whatever it is, physical, emotional. We try to fill it. We try to fill this void with something that isn't real. Something that's false. And we try to, either way, we try to fill it up. Let's read what Aaron did. And the second verse it reads, "And Aaron said to them, break off the golden earrings which are in the ears of your wives, your sons, your daughters, and bring them to me." Before he even spoke, he already given in to what the people were saying. Before he even uttered a word out of his mouth, he already knew that he wasn't firm anymore what Moses had left him to do. Moses left him to be in control of the situation, to be in control of the people, let them know what's going on, to minister to the people, have them wait, for what was going on. But he didn't. He didn't. He straight up, he just gave up. He said, you know what? These people are on me. I need to give them something. For them to calm down, for them to stay off me, I need to give them something. And what did he do? He broke off all the earrings of everybody that was around of the gold and made, it says, let's go on to verse 4. And we'll see what he did with it. It says, "And he received the gold from their hand, and he fashioned it with an engraving tool." Pretty much saying, he made it out of his own image, of what he thought was what was, to be. And what did he make? It says, "And made a molded calf." This is in itself is materialistic value, brothers and sisters. Something that, they seen at the time was something that was valuable. A calf to them, was like something that they could look forward to fatten it, to something that they could, mold, something that they could have, and keep as a great grand possession. When Jesus in earlier stories, we see, that he told the parable about the prodigal son, it says that they killed the fatted calf for the son that had came back. So this is a priceless possession. This is a very, very high priced possession. That's why they wanted something of materialistic value. Then they said, this is more than just Aaron. Not even Aaron himself, this is more than just Aaron. Then they said, "This is your God, O Israel, that brought you out of the land of Egypt." Completely giving, the glory and honor, everything to this molded piece of metal. Not giving it to the real God who did the real thing. Let's go on to verse 6. And it says, "Then they rose early on the next day, offered their burnt offerings, and brought peace of offerings, and the people sat down to eat and drink." And what does that last part say? Rose up to play. They were happy in their sins. They didn't care. Well, even though it disgraced God, they were happy with what they did. They had something to fulfill that need. They were happy with it. Just like a lot of times, like I said, for us, it comes easy. For us to be materialistically satisfied for what we see, what we have, what we feel, could be a big thing. When we're putting God out, even though we're happy, it makes our happy. Hey, we get up early, it says. They rose early. They were willing to do it. They were ready to do it.